Mabuhay Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Is the concept of marriage doomed? Is the concept of marriage doomed? I don't know. Sometimes I think about this because when I was growing up, everybody wanted to be married. Seems like everybody got married or was on their way to getting married. That was Of course, I was a child in the 60s and then a young adult in the 70s and 80s. And things have really changed considerably. Um, as you know, I was single a long time, always wanted to be married, and found a wife overseas, but not before I realized I think I pretty much had to give up finding somebody here in the United States of America. Yes, it's a big place, but you can only be so many places at once, and the people in your sphere of influence, they're either going to be interested or not. And I don't know what the deal was exactly. I don't have to know now because I've been married for almost 5 years to my Filipino wife. But I know I never gave up. I mean, people that I expected to be kind of supportive of me weren't. They almost seem to be trying to encourage me to just be content being single, be alone, find something else to do, kind of ignoring the main issues of why I would want to get married, and that's for companionship and intimacy, and it's just normal. And they knew that. They knew better than, I think, than to tell me, singleness is so great. But sometimes I have felt like maybe there's a reluctance these days for anybody to tell someone else, you know what, you should get married. It's like, well, with the high divorce rate, you don't want to put somebody through that as if you would be responsible by encouraging them to marry. And so a lot of people, I think, they just don't. Churches don't have singles groups. And if they do, they don't want to talk about dating and relationships as if, that's what a single person would want. And they do. I'm going to be a voice crying in the wilderness if I have to be, and tell people that, yes, if you want to get married, you should still strive to do that. Absolutely. If I had listened to the wrong people, even people that had good intentions, I never would have kept going and gotten married and gotten to the place I was. But a lot of people are divorced, of course. The United States, the percentage is bad, but it's worse in other places too. And I see a family here across the street walking a small child. Looks like two small children, three not very old people. Must be a younger family, maybe a relative alongside. But the weather's kind of nice, and it's good to see people are out there. And I hope that one day we have a return to normalcy when people get married. Is it doomed? Well, you got the MGTOW movement, which I think is petering out as far as its relevance on internet is concerned. I have known a few people at work the last 5 years that got married, but not a whole lot. There's a lot of single mothers out there. There's a lot of people that just, they've been hurt. They don't want anything to do with marriage. And there's something called open marriage. Then you got gay and lesbian marriage. Then, the belief that marriage is just a piece of paper. So I worry about the future, and so in my small way I try to help by saying, look everyone, I found someone. I'm certainly not bragging. I'm just trying to encourage people not to quit, not to give up. Go back to the Bible where Adam was made, and within 24 hours he was given a wife, whether he wanted one or not, because God was saying this is what's best for almost all people, unless he gives them the ability to live without marriage, in which case they would kind of be like a Mother Teresa or someone, where they have a great humanitarian desire. Otherwise, we need to marry. We should look somewhere else. We should reevaluate our priorities. We should try not to be overly picky. But is marriage doomed today? The state of marriage? I don't know. I sure hope not. What's better? What else would somebody go to be an improvement on marriage? There are struggles naturally. Those struggles also help you to become a better person. Those struggles help you to handle conflict better. And if you can do that, that should extend into every other relationship that you have. And I think I'll do a video on that one of these days. Marriage should make one a better person. It's not easy, but that doesn't mean it should go out of style just because people are telling you, hey, marriage is terrible, it's a ball and chain, never get married. Well, you can always ask them why that is, and why they would tell you to want their lifestyle if you still want something you think is better, and that's a relationship. If they tell you women are all the same, I would not believe them. Even here in the West, not all women are the same. And I just don't want people to get discouraged and think that there's no hope out there, because there's a lot of negativity. And I think maybe there's a little bit too much negativity. And I think we need more examples of people that are married, are happily married, and can tell other people, look, I'm very happy. I'm glad I got married. It was the right thing for me to do. It took a lot longer than I thought, but I got married. And is marriage doomed? I don't think so. In fact, I think there's, I don't have the reference on hand, but I think there's something in the Bible about in the latter days, people will be given in marriage just like they always have. It's just, a normal thing from the first couple that God created. So I just don't think so. I think marriage will survive somehow, maybe just from sheer common sense, or people like me saying, look, don't give up. Marriage is a great thing. Get married. If you don't like what I have to say, at least respect that I am happy in my relationship, and I look forward to another 10 or 15 years, Lord willing, if I can live that long and stay healthy. But is marriage doomed? The concept of marriage, I think it's going to take a lot of blows. It's already taken a lot of blows, but I don't think it will ever end. I think people will continue to get married, and if I can have anything to do with that, then I would certainly like to take some credit in a small way with this channel to help men seek a foreign wife if that's what they feel they must do, and then they can experience what I think is the best in life, with all the ups and downs and the things you go through living with another person. But that's the only way you learn how to live with another person, is to do it. It reveals who you are, really, the things you need to work on, the things people at work and at church and at the gym won't tell you about yourself. Your spouse will. That's a good thing. So I hope marriage is never doomed, and I'm going to do everything I can to help other people perhaps find their love beyond the sea.